Review. I am your host, and I'm bringing to you Dating in the Kitchen. That's right. This is a Chinese show that basically centers around a young lady who's a chef who basically goes from the bottom to the top in her kitchen, and at the same time finds a young man who is not only attractive but wealthy to help back her and her ambition, basically, right? And certain dramas ensue along the way, and eventually, you know how this kind of shows ends. Okay, it's a comedy drama, basically that centers on these two individuals and the problems they have to deal with in their world. So I can tell you one thing, man. Out of the bat, this show in itself was kind of an introduction for me to the Chinese genre. Okay, and I didn't think really I really enjoyed the Chinese shows because they speak so fast that I can't really understand it. Not really understand it, but they speak so fast that I can't read the subtitles to be able to understand what they're trying to say. So the Chinese language, to me, it's more or less like how would I put it? Not a language I like hearing. It doesn't sound sexy, just like the Japanese language or the South Korean languages. It doesn't sound sexy to me. So for me, I try to avoid shows like this. But this show was very interesting to some degree. In the beginning of it, it was nice. Middle, I started losing serious interest, and at the end, I lost it completely. I couldn't bear the situation. The reason for that was that the male lead was more of a man, and then in the middle he became more of a someone who's in love, right? And then at the end he just became a stalker slash, tied around the woman's palm. So there are just so many things, in my opinion, that just made me disgusted because no man can behave like that and expect the women to continue to love them. No man. I'm sorry. They're giving real bad advice to men. No man can act like that. Can be so how would I put it now? Pussy whipped and expect a woman to really like them. So it's just no. So environment, I would say it was great. They showed us different areas, but most of it was mostly centered around the kitchen. Okay. What the cast, I would say the one person who stole it for me was the uncle of the lady. Okay, I don't know, he's not really her uncle, but he was her uncle. He acted like he was gay, but he was one of the most sensible, most centered person in the whole show, in my personal opinion. He was consistent. He's that kind of guy, but his behavior was too feminine. But out of all of them, he stole the show for me personally. And I'll say story overall, I'll give it like maybe a 6.5. So in all, if I was to put everything together, I would just say this show is a 6.85. It doesn't really touch a 7. 7 would be an okay, but no. It tried because of what it did in the middle and what it did towards the ending, and I just cannot give this a pass. So in my own subjective view, I will give this a 6.85 out of 10. That's it for me. So I hope you guys pick up this show, watch it a little bit. I'm not gonna say something that nobody should watch, but I'll say pick it up. It may be a cup of tea for you. Women, you will enjoy this. Guys, you will dread this, especially in the middle part and towards the ending. So, all right, guys, it's been my own review. I'm gonna be following this up with a more in-depth talk about what's going on, because in the 5 minutes or so, I cannot give the full detail. So, better luck, guys, and enjoy.